Hey everybody, we're heading into Dune chapter 40 here, so that's another big milestone. And if you check it out, so this is the book I'm reading here, you can see that slit in the page there. We're getting real close to the end. I think there's a handful of chapters left, and will I get it done by the end of the year? Possibly, probably not, because I've been going slower than I would like. That being said, I'm excited to tell you about this chapter because it's a big one, and it's an important one, kicking off a fairly important event in good old Paul's life here. So before we get into that, if you like sci-fi fantasy, I'm a sci-fi fantasy author. If you'd like to learn more about my series, The Song of Immaru, take a look in the links below. Also, if you're enjoying these videos, I really would appreciate the good old like and subscribe. It definitely helps the algorithm out. I could use a boost there. So please consider it if you want to keep following along. Chapter 40. So we've jumped a few years in this chapter. Paul's a little bit older, and he is completely tripping out at the beginning of this chapter. So he's having more of his dreams. And at this point, he's having trouble disambiguating his dreams from reality. So he's seeing his mother, and he's trying to understand if she's actually approving of his romantic relationship with Chani. And she shares that she does towards the tail end of one dream. As he continues to dream, he sees his son, Leto 2, and some of the things that are going to be happening with him, and so on and so on. The most interesting part here is, again, the fact that he's not entirely sure what's in the real world versus what he's dreaming about. It's really tying together. So that's an interesting concept. As a reader, I'm also wondering, are these dreams actually prophetic? Is poor Paul losing his mind? Is he taking them too seriously? I think that's probably the intent of Frank Herbert here, but the dreams are really influencing Paul a lot in the direction of his life, regardless of whether or not they're legitimate prophecies or not. So we move on into the real world, what I'm pretty sure is the real world, and what Paul seems to also believe at this point is the real world, and he's preparing for his big milestone, which is riding the Maker or the Worm, and have to get a harness and climb up it. And he's practiced at least once with a buddy, but now he has to do it on his own. So Chani's trying to encourage him. She's stressed out, trying to show support. Stilgar's also involved, trying to help Paul get ready. He's getting one of those thumper things, going to go climb up on a big dune and call a worm. We also learn while he's preparing for this that a lot of sounds like women and the children have gone far south to like a safe area where they're all hanging out now. And the way they do this is they actually ride worms down there. So his mom was allowed to do it because she became the new Reverend Mother, but it sounds like she rides on some sort of like, I don't know, doohickey thing that's on top of the worm, like a saddle or whatever. So she's allowed to go. And Paul's baby sister's been born too, and she's been freaking everybody out because she can talk already, and she's kind of like an adult and a little kid. So he's dealing with the Fremen being moderately concerned about that situation. Anyway, as the chapter draws to a conclusion, Paul goes out to the dune, gets the thumper going, and lo and behold, it's not just a worm that approaches, but the biggest one he's ever seen. So he's going to have quite the challenge on his hands. Then, sadly, the chapter ends, and it looks like we're going to do a POV switch, which makes me sad because that was getting kind of exciting. But I'll read chapter 41. We'll get the overview of that here, and then hopefully we'll see if Paul makes it or not. Until then, take care. Bye.